Hey everybody, it's Andy again, out here in front of the state capitol. Still got my life preserver on because our state is still drowning. Excuse me. Hey listen, I was watching the House proceedings earlier today, and here's the deal. We've got a huge budget shortfall, and we are fighting over pocket change, right? Pocket change. In fact, one of the representatives even equated this to a time when he was a child, a youngster, and he and his dad and siblings went through their couch cushions to try to find some pocket change so they could go to the movies. Which is great, that's fine if you want to go to the movies, but it's not okay if you're trying to pay for core services that affect people's lives. That's not okay. Going to the movies is not the same as paying for DHS workers to protect children who are in abusive situations. Going to the movies and pocket change is not the same as paying for medications for people who need life-sustaining medications, like people with, I don't know, HIV or cancer. Pocket change is not the same as paying for healthcare, for schools, for teachers, for frickin' construction paper, for books for kids to learn. Like, this is a dire situation. It's ridiculous that I'm in the parking lot wearing a life preserver in a landlocked state. Meanwhile, the folks inside the building are arguing about $15, $20 million, raising taxes on 3.2 beer for the next year and a half until we figure out what we got to do with taxes then. When instead they could, I don't know, look to raise the gross production tax, even a nominal amount. We have arguably the lowest rate in the entire country. That hasn't been discussed. Oh, sure, maybe someday we'll talk about it, but not right now. They haven't put it to a vote yet. There's tons of people that have been calling for this for a long time. Now, they could also pass a cigarette tax. Supposedly it's coming up for a vote tomorrow, but it's going to be packaged with a fuel tax, maybe, and packaged with some repeals of some deals on oil and gas subsidies, which is a good deal. That's like $50 million. Cigarette tax, maybe 150. If they fuel tax, maybe 100. Except for all these things will be going down over time, and we remain in this year-to-year budget shortfall situation. The House voted today to reduce the standard deduction on your income taxes. So if you pay income tax and you either do the standard deduction or the itemized deduction, and most people do standard deduction depending on income. Generally, only higher income folks do itemized. So if you do the standard one, then it's, yes, this is because we're drowning in debt as a state. Not debt, we're drowning in, we're just in a dire situation. Thanks, Quincy. We're lacking income, lacking revenue. So the standard deduction, for most people, this means you're going to have a higher effective tax rate. And not just most people, most lower and middle income people. Higher income, the folks who do itemize, who have lots of charitable donations or capital gains or other tax write-offs, those folks get to keep paying the same rate. There's no cap on their itemized deduction. I hear there's talk of that, but notice that was not the first thing passed today. No. Instead today, by a very narrow vote, they decided to raise taxes on poor people. Time and time again, that's what's happening. It's folks like you, folks like me, all the regular folks in Oklahoma that are having to pay higher taxes. Meanwhile, big corporations, giant buildings, sprawling campuses full of brand new buildings, those folks paying the same rate. Low rates, some of the lowest rates in the country. We've squandered the money when we had it, and we're doing a bad job of it when we don't. Instead, we are just here in this... I'm so frustrated, I can't even find my words. So yeah, we're here in the parking lot. Now, you're probably wondering, I hope, what you can do to make a difference. And I'll tell you what you can do. Pick up your phone and call your legislators. Call them right now. If you called them yesterday when I did the video, call them again. Call them every day. Be polite. Don't yell at them, but just say, "Hi, this is my name, this is my address, I'm a constituent, and here's what I think you need to do. Here's what I support." And ask them, please vote for this. If you want to make an extra phone call, call Speaker McCall. Hashtag call McCall. Every day. Call McCall. Tell him. Say, "Speaker McCall, this is what's up. We need you to raise gross production tax. We need you to pass cigarette tax. We need you to do something now in a hurry." My hunch, personally, I think that they are afraid of the big oil lobby. They don't want to raise gross production tax. It'll pass. I guarantee it'll pass. I've got data that shows like 72 people would vote on it today. We only need 4 more. Only 4 more in the House. There's 4 folks up there that are waffling on it. We could get it to pass. Put it to a vote. Put gross production tax out there. If it fails, fine, okay. Then at least we know, right? And then we can figure out why it failed and talk to them about it. But right now, they're not voting on it. Meanwhile, the people, everyone I've talked to, super upset about this. Representative Fetgetter, I think, said he hears about it all the time. Both sides, Democrats and Republicans, people know. I've had more folks I know that are Republicans that have switched to independents because they're sick of this kind of this partisan politic stuff. They're mad at both sides, and I get it. Like, you know, I've been registered as a Republican and a Democrat and an independent because I get frustrated with both sides. And what we really want is a government that works for us, not against us. We want folks that are going to stand up here and take the hard vote and be transparent about it. All these weird budgety gimmicks and stuff we haven't even heard of. We've spent months about this budget situation, preparing for different scenarios, putting together plans, and they're throwing out stuff like the standard deduction cap on it today. Where did that come from? Why was that not out in the light of day? These are things that we need to talk about as a state so the people understand. The party in power and the party that's not in power could be heroes by standing here in the parking lot with me. So I challenge anybody in that building that wants to come out here and wear a life vest and talk about how our state's in dire straits. Get a life vest, get a preserver, get a inflatable boat, bring your bass boat, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about it. I'll put together a gang of 8 out here in the parking lot if I have to. You guys are with me. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, noon on Wednesday. Should be a nice sunny day once again. Come stand in here with me. Let's talk about it. We can make this happen. We can fix this. Day 2, a video a day in the month of May. Let's fix this, folks.